All right, guys, it's Lanny with another episode of Freedom Finance. Let's go. Let's get it. Today's main topic, and again, it's going to get a little bit more serious, but it's about a topic about turning one-time income into forever income. You know, if you're new to the channel, if you're new to just in your working career, new to saving money, new to making money, it's what do you do with it? And how do you make it last forever? I'm going to talk a lot of detail here. Nothing that's going to be too granular, but just enough at a very basic level that'll help you learn really what it means to take one-time income and what I mean by it, how to take one-time income and turn that into forever income. So I'll go over kind of the different ways of what I mean by one-time income and what you can do with it to turn it into that forever income. That's the name of the game here on this channel. Again, it's about freedom, financial freedom, freedom finance, guys. So we're going to get into it. Grab your favorite beverage. Let's go. Let's get it. So what do I mean by one-time income? One-time income. It's quite simple. I'll break down a few different areas and, there could be some debate, so let me know in the comments on how you feel about it. But you go to a job, you go to your 9 to 5 or your 8 to 6 or your 7 to 7, whatever you want to call it these days, and you earn wage income. Now, I hate to break it to you, but that's technically one-time income. Because most, and I say most, places are at will employment. Your position could be eliminated, you could be terminated, or hey, maybe you'll get laid off during a tough financial crisis time period, such as the pandemic, or in 08, 09, 2010, the financial crisis. So that income could be one time. So that is the main and biggest example of what one-time income could be. But there are many different ways, and majority of the viewers have that one-time wage income. Now, the next area of one-time income could be if you own and run your own business, such as a one-time product or service. Maybe you clean houses, maybe you babysit, maybe you perform audit and tax services. For the most part, that's one-time income as well. So you get paid for that time of your, either the hours that it took to do it or for the service that you performed. An oil change. If you have your own auto shop, usually you're getting paid to do that one job and that's it. So that's another example of one-time income. Another few examples, and I talk about it a lot on Twitter, on my other channels, Bert and the Diplomat, we sell things online on eBay, Mercari, Facebook. It's usually never a never-ending supply of that product, and I call that one-time income. You either sell something that you don't have or sell something you don't use around the house once, and that's it, one-time income. Or you're doing retail arbitrage, you bought as much as you could and you're reselling it. One-time income, because it's not always unlimited supply there. Another example of one-time income, again, we're focused on talking about that, is that gig economy. Think of your DoorDashes, your Ubers, Lyft, Instacart, Grubhub, you name it. Just thinking off the top 5 names that come to my mind. But it's usually a one-time service as well. You get paid when you turn the app on and you fulfill an order that comes through, whether that's a ride share, grocery order, a food delivery, a grocery pickup order. Once you're done, you finish it, you'll get your compensation. That's it. There's no forever income from that one-time income. So again, to break it down, the one-time income that we just quickly went through, and again, a lot of you viewers earn these or earn multiple types of one-time income. Wage, owning your own business income could be one-time income. the gig economy, the one-time income there, or selling online a product, service, one time online. So we just went through all of the one-time income. Wage income, you could have your own business providing selling one product or performing one service. That's one-time income. Doing the reselling on eBay and Mercari or Facebook or Amazon, that's typically one-time income. And then obviously the last one we just talked about in the gig economy, one-time income. Now, guys, it's all about what you do with that one-time income. The name of the game is to now figure out what to do when you earn that money. You could spend it, and then you can go and perform that service, put your hours in, do your thing to get that paycheck on Friday, or on your weekend go do that DoorDash delivery, or you could hopefully find that toy from Walmart to sell on eBay again. But you have to go out there and get it yourself, perform your service, your role, sell a product to get that one-time income again. Or you can save your money. It's all about how much you save. So if you're watching this, look at your income coming in, look at your expenses going out, and you want to make sure that gap between what you're making and what you're spending on the other side, you want to be able to say your spending is way less than what you're earning, to have that gap, which is called savings. So now the goal is, if you have that much savings or you know how to save, you want to take that savings and somehow turn that money, that one-time income from your income, less that expense, and you want to turn that chunk of savings into forever income. I have a phrase, guys. It literally is take one-time income, turn it to forever income, repeat the process. So now we're going to get into the forever income. So what is forever income? To me, this is when you own an asset that takes little to zero work once you own the asset. I'll say little because we'll get into one of the categories, but that since you own that asset, you have the ability to generate a forever income source by just owning the asset. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's start at the basic level. Let's say you're just starting out. You're very risk averse. So your savings is just in a savings account. You could build that up as much as you want over time. And technically, you're turning that savings into a forever income because you're earning interest. Obviously, right now, you might be earning some great interest income, with yields well over 4.5% to 6% right now. But that typically isn't the case over the long term. But technically, interest income could be considered forever income when you purchase into a savings account, buy a certificate of deposit, a treasury bond. You could buy some of these risk-free assets with your cash, essentially still is in cash, and you can earn forever income off of it, which can be, it fluctuates quite a bit. And obviously we're in a very high rate time period, and more than likely that is not going to last forever. And it's not going to stay this high forever. The next asset you can use that savings is to get into real estate. There's no question about it. You can look at all the real estate investing channels out here on YouTube, talk to any of your real estate investing friends, read some books. You could buy property. You could buy a duplex to start out. You could buy a small rental, move that up to a larger apartment complex. But the goal is by owning the asset, leveraging an institution to lend you money, you could then have an asset on your balance sheet that produces a forever income recurring, income stream for you by way of rental income by just owning that real estate property. So that's like one of the most popular examples of forever income. You took that wage income from your 9-to-5 job, you kept saving for maybe it's a whole year, maybe it's for 2 years, and after you built that savings up, you went and go buy a duplex. You went and bought a duplex. So now you have an asset that you own, creating forever income, forever rental income. Now we're going to dive into this guy's personal favorite, the easiest form of forever income to really get going. And I really hope that this is the part that you really pay attention to. This is, maybe a little bias on my part. Go buy dividend stocks and ETFs. You are taking your wage income, saving it, and buying, equity in the stock market, whether that's an exchange traded fund or an ETF or a dividend stock, into a company that you are very familiar with. These companies pay dividends every single quarter like clockwork and increase their dividends typically every single year if you focus on the high quality ones, such as Dividend Kings, which are companies that have increased the dividend for 50 freaking years, such as Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble. If you go and look, and you could buy stock into those types of companies, they pay you a quarterly dividend, and they've grown their dividends for over 50 years. So just by owning that stock, by taking your savings, buying this asset of stock, you now created a forever income stream via dividend income, which, by the way, is taxed very favorably if it's qualified. I also mentioned ETFs. You could look at the most basic one, which is VOO, Vanguard's S&P 500 ETF. You could look at my favorite, Vanguard's High Dividend Yield ETF, VYM, or a combination of the both, Vanguard's Dividend Appreciation ETF, VIG. But by owning these ETFs, you at least reduce your risk by owning a large basket of stocks that will continue to pay you a growing quarterly dividend income stream typically. So again, you took that one-time income, you saved money, and now you're putting it into a forever income producing asset. Next, we'll quickly brush on royalties. If you, again, save money, you can actually buy part ownership into music rights, book rights. You can write a book, publish it on Amazon. You could own a lot of areas within the US, especially, where you can earn royalties. Oil, gas, mineral fields. If you have some property that you rent or lease out, and they can pay you royalties just by owning that piece of asset. Again, that's just a small one that I typically don't have on my balance sheet. I don't really know too many investors that do collect royalty income, but if you are, let me know in the comments. So again, that is 4 assets that you can buy from your savings, taking that one-time income, saving some, and then putting it into forever income producing assets. We're talking interest income by way of CDs and bonds, treasuries, very boring and basic. You could put it into real estate and being a landlord. Well, you can always outsource the management component, but you can own the asset of real estate and have forever rental income. You could buy dividend stocks and ETFs by owning that equity asset, paying you a nice quarterly, sometimes monthly. I'm talking to you royalty income, dividend that grows every single year and sometimes multiple times a year. Taking that one-time income, turning it into forever income. Then we talked briefly about royalty, owning an asset and somehow somebody using the rights to it and you collecting royalties. Again, taking that one-time income, putting it into that forever income producing asset and creating that income stream. So guys, how many forever income producing assets do you own on your balance sheet right now? I do have a savings account, maybe some CDs, so I'm getting interest income. I used to rent out my house. I don't anymore, but I might get back into it. But I also have Fundrise, so I get a little bit of this, real estate income. I definitely own a ton of dividend stocks and ETFs, so I've got dividend income, but I don't own anything that has rights, such as royalty income. So I've got 3 income streams right now that I feel like are forever income producing assets. I am doing this because I'm earning income from the one time and moving it right into the forever income by saving as much as possible. So how are you guys doing this? What do you guys think about taking one-time income and turning it into forever income? I think that's the name of the game to really get to financial freedom, and you just keep repeating the process over and over again. Again, if this helped you understand kind of what to do after you earn that one-time income, made it pretty basic for you to understand what you're supposed to do when you save money and how to create forever income off of it, let me know in the comments if it helped. Let me know as well what other content you'd like to see. any other feedback you have on this content or videos as well. And if you haven't, subscribe to the channel, like the video. I know I usually don't say that too often. Try not to be one of those guys, but I'll throw it here at the end. Again, thanks for rocking with me, and I'll catch you on the next one.